TKC had a bad hover there and backflipped out of the hover, unfortunately.
RoseWater nailing the hover.
Yeah.
Gets up on the scene.
That's too low. Yeah, that's too low for TKC. He has to do a bomb instead. That work. Okay. I know we're getting on with this, but I'm just going to keep doing commentary, I guess. If you can hear us, then RoseWater got a nice Spirit Hover. TKC had to go for round 2 Spirit Hover because he fell out with his hover, but both of them getting across and getting Mirror Shield. So RoseWater is a little bit ahead now. He managed to salvage back some time from the 4-way stand test and a very clean hover.
He's about 45 seconds ahead.
Oh boy. First. Get unlucky there with a bomb drop there. He only got 1. Got to farm this pot a couple of times to get to a bomb count. You can make do with 14.
Yeah.
But to be safe, you might go for full bombs here. Looks like he is going for full bombs.
Yeah,
Can't win in a race.
There's very little reason not to.
Yeah, you lose about 5 seconds from farming the bomb for pot extra time, but the cost of 5 seconds, you have more to work with going into the late game. And we have seen Rose struggle with Forest Temple in the end game in general quite a bit during his races. So we shouldn't be ahead. It should be synced entirely. All right, so Rose is going for statue climb here. He gets a climb.
Nice statue climb, yeah.
Yeah, clips through with the hookshot extension. Meanwhile, TKC is
farming a BK skip here that he discovered, using again a low height ground clip as it's known. And getting through there successfully.
Actually, very close race.
TKC similarly going for the BK skip here.
Yeah.
So you get ISG, you place a couple bombs down to do what's known as a staircase hover. And once you've hovered over those bombs, you place another one down. And on the last couple frames before the bomb explodes, you pull sword to cause Link to fall to the ground, and his falling speed and getting damaged coinciding give him just enough speed to clip through that buster.
Yeah. It's very important to try that too many times because the health is pretty limited here. They want to go for this cutscene skip in the burrow, and this takes a whole half of them. So
yeah,
the damage her down. Yeah, they damage her down to the point where she has 2 health left, and then 1 bomb will kill her. Drop a bomb, and then use hookshot to clip through the wall, and then fall out of bounds. The bomb blows her up and kills her, and then during the cutscene you void out and reload the room. That saves about 25 seconds or so.
Yeah, I think optimally it's around 20.
Yeah. It also depends on their health, because they can't... if they haven't got a heart and a quarter, then they can't do that trick. And the fact that doing statue climb takes a whole heart off them, once from getting the clip up to the statue itself, and then another from getting the BK skip. They need to really manage their health well in Spirit Temple and make sure they've got enough to make it through.
TKC dodging the axe.
Gets it.
Nice and easy. So RoseWater about to start Twin Robot, TKC about to enter the arena. So still a very close race. I would say there's about 45 seconds in it right now to a minute.
Yeah, I think it's less than a minute, but yeah, it's only between 30 seconds and a minute. But Rover is a pretty RNG heavy boss, so could decide a lot how this race goes.
Yeah, it could definitely be turned around.
So with Twin Rover, they fly about this arena in somewhat random patterns, and you can somewhat control them by using hookshot to keep them in place. Because when you fire a hookshot at them, they go to dodge it, and they can constantly spin in place forever and ever. And then you can just use that to keep them locked in place, and use it to get a good advantage on them. You can also get what's known as doubles and triples and multiple shots basically from the same witch in a row. But they need to be on one of those 4 platforms around the edge of the arena to actually do it. And they're not particularly rare, but it's not common either. Getting a double is pretty uncommon. Getting a triple is very rare, and getting a quadruple is, as far as we know, impossible. Because they've never been done on S64.
Not impossible, but it has not been observed yet. I believe,
yeah, there's no recorded instance of it.
Assuming it truly is RNG, it should be possible.
Yeah. I believe it's been done in OoT 3D, though.
It has, or something similar has been, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, really lucky, you can get what's called a quick shot, which then they fire right at the start of the fight. Which none of our players got, unfortunately, but it's always pretty nice to get one of those.
What you will notice here is N64, in one of its only remaining perks versus VC, has far better Twin Rova effects on the fire and ice. Obviously, something in the emulation of those effects, especially fire, just couldn't be recreated on N64. On VC, sorry. So N64 fight here does look a lot nicer aesthetically.
Yeah. So I think TKC actually caught up quite a bit of time there.
Yeah, good RNG for TKC there. RoseWater had a bit of trolling at the start. Also, on RoseWater's screen just now, you'll see him firing hookshot just after she is shot. And it spins her in place momentarily, but what that actually does is causes her to move more quickly to the next spot that she's going to shoot from, and I think saves around 6 seconds over just letting her sort of fly about herself.
I was in a really awkward position for this crouch stab, but he managed to get it. I was worried he wasn't going to get that for a second.
TKC has caught up an enormous amount. There is now only about 20 seconds in this.
Yeah, it's very, very close. Maybe even that. Maybe like 10 seconds or so. It's actually very, very close. And this is pretty bad for RoseWater, because this is the part where N64 starts really feeling the lag, and where they're going to start losing a lot of time from it. And so he needs to be ahead by a lot going into Gen's tower. Yeah,
assuming sort of perfect synchronization. If they were to enter the Ganondorf fight, at the same time, if we just take it from there, RoseWater would want to be at least 30 seconds ahead compared to that, because he will lose about that much between then and the end of the game alone in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, the laggiest parts of this game come right at the end. In the Ganondorf fight, the tower collapsed in the Ganon fight. It's actually ridiculous how much it lags N64 compared to VC. VC has basically no lag at all.
Yeah.
Rose playing it extra safe and getting this heart container.
The final heart container, losing 10 seconds. TKC, thanks to RoseWater's decision to do that, which I have no idea why, unless he's just completely worried. I mean, I suppose it's for Forest Temple. He's obviously scared about dying there. It's happened before in a race for him.
Yeah,
And I
I've
think
seen RoseWater do
right
this actually
thing.
before in the tournament. I've seen him get the cycle container before in the tournament. It's from his previous rounds. It's mostly, I think, just for safety and Forest Temple.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Anything else? Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it does lose 10 seconds or so, but
Yeah, as we can see, TKC already only about 5 to 10 seconds behind, and
yeah,
from here on out, we'll continue to catch. Even just the Stalfos fight
yeah.
could decide who's ahead here.
That's actually a gold split for TKC in the Rover fight there.
It was, yeah, very, very strong fight for him.
Yeah.
He'll be happy with that.
So No IM is basically a checklist category where the goal is to get light arrows to kill Ganondorf with, and to get light arrows, you need to get these medallions. To shoot light arrows, you need a bow and magic. And so we got magic, we got the medallions, we just need a bow now. And so going to Forest Temple to get that. It's about a 5-minute jaunt to get it. Using a couple of glitches to speed things up and get there faster. But the main choke point for this part of the run is Stalfos fights. You need to fight 5 Stalfos, and they can really mess you up and slow you down if you get unlucky. They can either be super aggressive and take all your health off, or they can be super defensive and not let you get any stabs in whatsoever and just troll you forever. So
You might have
it's
already.
awkward.
Sorry, Greg. You might have already noticed that just out of that cutscene, whether due to some mashing or some visual effects, TKC already closer, which, you know, just shows N64, unless it was all mashing, N64 already losing some time just through cutscenes, which does happen naturally for N64. The rendering process for the graphics is just that bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
Both players here are going for a setup that causes the Wolfos not to spawn as they go for the vines, meaning that they get up there trouble-free.
Yeah, a bit more important for TKC because he's at 1 heart, and the Wolfos will damage him down quite a bit. These Stalfos fights coming up are going to be pretty scary for him. He has 1 heart to work with, and which means a single hit from them will kill him. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him rush to get like a fairy or something.
Absolutely, he will at least get the heart. All he technically needs is
1 heart.
1 heart here, but for safety, I imagine he'll at least grab the pot with the extra heart in it. So
yeah,
the fairy, half the time. I mean, if you hit that pot and it comes out, it's luck whether or not it hits you. I feel the fairies seem to have this complete desire to avoid Link when he needs them the most.
Damn. Yeah, fairies can be real trolls. The worst thing that can happen here for TKC is if the Stalfos run towards where the pots are, because then he's trying to get the health, but the Stalfos just block him from it.
Yeah, so both players here baiting a jump slash out of that first Stalfos, which you can do when they first spawn by basically running straight to attack them. And a heart drop from the Stalfos for TKC.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Optimal.
Gets for the fairy, though.
Goes for the fairy.
This fairy might just troll them too much. The worst when they go into the wall, because then you can't actually get them.
Yeah, if this fairy isn't around, yeah, like I thought, he'll just go for the heart.
Yeah, makes sense. Probably faster in the long run to go for those 2 hearts.
Safe decision. Definitely not as slow as grabbing the spirit heart container.
Yeah. So here is another version of Ledge Clip. We saw a version of Ledge Clip in Shadow Temple to get the boss key. This is another version of that where you target a ledge on the first frame, you grab it, and you just fall through. You clip through the block and get out.
RoseWater going for a pretty freeform version of that. TKC doing the standard setup and getting it faster. Here, got a bit of a damage boost using hover boots to clear this gap. Basically skip any extra rooms that we'd otherwise have to do.
Yeah, this skips a key, and also I guess you get to clear the list is pretty nice because you get to this block room, and this block room you need a strength upgrade to push these blocks, but also doing ground jumps to clip past them is actually way faster than pushing the blocks anyway because they take a long time to push. So even if you want to push these blocks, you couldn't anyway. But using ground jumps, you can just grab the top of them, flip through the ceiling, and then here you see a RoseWater screen going for a somewhat precise little roll here with hover boots. The hard part there is if you go too far to the left, you can actually clip through the wall and fall back down to the bottom. And that's really bad because you have to climb all the way back up again.
TKC
Also,
going for the same thing.
playing a bit safer than Rose by the looks of it, but he gets it.
Nice.
That's not the impossible jump, but it's kind of ironic because it's actually really damn easy.
RoseWater, you might have noticed, side hopping there after he came through that door. TKC will do the same. What players are doing there is avoiding a trigger that causes Navi to talk. By hugging the wall there, you can totally avoid her. And actually, by hugging this wall here, avoid a second one. So saving multiple seconds just through that corridor.
Yep. Here's the second Southwest fight. This first one's gonna be a little bit scary because you got the big pit in the middle, which you can't fall through, because that pit leads down to the key room. When you fall the other Southwest, you fall back down there. They gotta do the whole temple all over again. Basically, they gotta do damage boost up to the courtyard balcony, and then the 2 ground jumps to get back up here. And
TKC
it's big attacks.
Much cleaner first Southwest fight. We'll see how his second ones go. Using nuts to full effect. This is the power of a Deku Nut.
Yeah, Deku Nuts for this fight are so nice. Almost a very, very clean fight there, but this last stuff I started to troll him a little bit.
Okay, caught up to RoseWater a lot at the end there with those Southwest fights. So this is... We're looking at 10 seconds difference here.
Yeah. Missing the chest. Okay.
12 seconds.
12 seconds difference, yeah.
But yeah, this is where RoseWater really needed to be ahead. Unfortunately for him, assuming no other mistakes from either runner, TKC will catch and overtake purely on lag that N64 experiences. You might say it's unfortunate. Of course, it's runner's choice and preference on which console to use, and N64 currently holds the record, so it's not slow. But in a race, VC has the advantage of no lag, and sometimes, and so far in this tournament, quite a lot of times, it has been the deciding factor towards the end.
Yeah. So N64 is very much a high risk, high reward console to use for this character.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the light arrow cutscene, one of the longest that this game has to offer. So if you have things to do, cups of tea to make, sleep to catch up on, now's your time.
You got 5 minutes to do what you want. This is the downside of having a close race that you gotta watch this cutscene at the same time. So how are you, Cruxer? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you, Greg. How are you?
I'm alright, you know. I'm not too bad. Yeah.
Always enjoy commentating a race, especially.
It's very nice.
Especially, TSR, just wonderful channel, wonderful people.
Yeah, it's a Tresco. Screw that guy.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Blame him for everything, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah.
Would Valiant have won without lag? If we were both on the same console, we probably would have tied because we entered the cutscenes at the same time. But who knows?
It would have been much closer.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
He entered the final cutscene about half a second ahead of me, so assuming no lag, half a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, that race was not won and lost on lag. That race was won and lost on our mistakes in other places. I think generally it is unfair. I think as this tournament goes on as well, it's important to point out, I don't think any race in this tournament is officially won or lost on lag. It may look like that at the end, but the reason it was lost because of lag at the end is because of mistakes made on N64 route prior to the end game. So it's not the lag itself that lost that player the race. It was their mistakes earlier on that let the other player catch up to that point on VC.
Yeah.
Which I think is an important distinction to make.
Exactly. Yeah. It may, as close as it may seem, like the reason it was close is because of obviously like I said, mistakes made early in the run. Which at the time when I seen them big mistakes, like maybe lose 5 seconds here, 10 seconds there, but those add up monumentally. So like a failed Hess, like 5 minutes in, could contribute to them losing overall. It's very very tough for N64 to win a race of this because they have to be it's on them to be ahead the whole way. Like they are the ones that have to be ahead trailblazing for the run. Otherwise they're gonna lose.
Yeah, of course.
They know that.
Yeah, and N64 certainly earlier into the route has time save based on higher explosive count to use, so extra hesses, exclusive glitches as well. So the amount that lag loses is offset by those factors.
Yeah, exactly.
As well. So yeah, there's a lot going on that contributes to it. But yeah, I think you could never say that a race was won or lost on lag. It is the things that led up to it being that close in the end, which is what we're gonna see here. You know, RoseWater has made some decisions like grabbing the Spirit Heart container and things like that that have let TKC catch up sort of 5-10 seconds at a time, and now we're only about 10 apart. So
yeah. Also other factors, you know, like TKC playing a lot safer in certain areas like Wasteland, where he dropped his Hess halfway through and just tried to walk the rest of the way, whereas RoseWater went for the big boy play and tried to continue it and
yeah, of
void it
course,
out.
and with that,
So that lost
void,
him some time as well.
Yeah. I mean, he did follow it up with the Wasteland Hess after that, but certainly lost some time there. But then immediately gained the lead back from TKC, who failed to get initial hover for Spirit Hover a couple times.
Yeah, it lost about a minute or so to just trying to get Spirit Hover going, not exactly Spirit Hover itself.
TKC really unfortunate there. Realistically, should have been about a minute up at this point, but you know, that would be boring, and we always like close races, which is a real theme of No I Am Run Warp in general. Races are always, especially with high-level runners, the potential for a race to be very close is, you know, not guaranteed, but pretty likely, given consistency and just the way this category works.
The great thing about No I Am Run Warp and why it's a great race category is because it has backups for everything. So regardless of what happens, you're guaranteed to see them finish a race no matter what. Unless, you know, VC crash or console crashes, for example, can happen. We saw it the other day with Chris getting a random console reset. Very unfortunate.
Really unfortunate there. Yeah.
But, you know, that's the risk you take when you use old hardware like the N64 and the Wii, because you're going to have hardware failures occasionally, and that's the risk you take when running an old game. It sucks, but that's kind of, you have to accept the fact that's going to happen occasionally. But these things, you know, despite that, like, this category is very much the safest race category for Ocarina of Time, like bar none.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, are you going to get your grandma to mow the lawn, or are you going to mow the lawn? Which one is which one's safer and going to be faster? You know,
exactly. All right, so I want to check the bomb counts for both runners because get the size some strats. 11 for RoseWater, so he has free choice here. What Skippy does for trials. There's about 5 or 6 different ways of skipping trials at this point.
Yeah.
All in different varying speeds and explosive counts. The fastest being a 2-bomb staircase hover, but the most common one is a 3-bomb staircase hover.
Yeah,
see RoseWater going for a staircase
going for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And 11 as well.
Setting himself up for 2-bomb. Nice. See what he does.
It's a free bomb one. No. That's a safer one. Oh,
getting damaged. A reason I hate this hover. I feel like that happens all too often.
Oh, his bomb count's really low now. You see TKC going for the mega side top method here with hover boots.
Consistency is speed, and in TKC's case, proving that point. By no means is that strat slow. You know, there's not a lot in it. It is slower than the standard staircase hover, but not by a lot. And sometimes that consistency and having those spare bombs, particularly in a race, is really nice. Just for reference, world record, you know, continues to go for that mega side hop. So it's not, you know, not always the fastest strats that are the best in this situation. Because you can see RoseWater on 4 bombs, TKC on 10, and if anyone has some bad luck towards the end here, having those extra bombs is going to be a huge benefit.
Yeah, so Need at the bare minimum, absolute bare minimum, 2 bombs. Oh, TKC dies to Stalfos.
That's unfortunate, but RoseWater being trolled out of his mind by this
Stalfos.
I have never seen.
Wow.
There we go. Taking him down.
I've seen that happen before in the relay race a couple months ago. CMA had the Stalfos just jump on the chest and refuse to get down.
That sucks for TKC though. A bit of time to make up. He is going to have to do that fight over again.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, unlike Double Knuckles, if you die to them, the Stalfos fight is going to take a lot longer to redo.
Yeah. So I was saying earlier about safety versus speed. RoseWater played it really safe and got both heart containers you can get in this run.
Knuckles out of sync for RoseWater.
Oh. Okay, he's
never mind.
Gone.
Fix them.
Yes, as I was saying, TKC opted to... Oof, I was close for Rose. TKC opted to get 0 heart containers, so he's going with 3 hearts. So he's taking the risk that he could die.
Yeah.
But the payoff for it is much larger, obviously.
Now, what I will say, we talked earlier about RoseWater wanting to get into Ganondorf cutscene about 30 seconds ahead. We're looking at around that right now.
Yeah.
So this is going to come down to the wire still.
Yeah, and he gets to have to impress.
It is nearly... He does indeed. It is nearly even at this point, with lag considerations. RoseWater going into the room at about 11.5.
Yeah. So other than lag, the 2 things that could decide this are RoseWater's low bomb count and TKC's low heart count. Yeah. Both of those things could be major factors in this last little section, because if TKC gets rock trolled trying to do Void Warp, he has to die. Whereas RoseWater gets another free shot at it.
Yeah, correct. TKC not getting the Hess. Luckily, that Hess only saves about 4 seconds, so not a huge time loss.
Yeah, and he has a good chunk of time to make up on Rose anyway.
Yeah, we're looking at about a 40-second difference here.
Roughly.
So this is... It is still all to play for. You know, a slightly slow Ganon fight, a mistake at Dorf, a rock troll. It's all still to play for here. By no means over.
Yeah, this is a super close race.
And so here, N64 begins to become a PowerPoint slideshow as Ganondorf sends out his beams of energy.
Literally sucking the life force from the console.
So RoseWater here, starting the Dorf fight.
Using lag reduction strategy, looking at the ground to avoid lag reduction. He unfortunately can't do lag reduction on Ganondorf because he has to look at him all times.
No return from Ganondorf, so RoseWater able to just fire a light arrow at him. And
oh my god.
Welcome to the slideshow. Successfully gets ISG though, and will take down Dorf. Nice and easy.
Yep.
Albeit slow.
Alright, very clean fight for Rose. See if TKC can match that.
Yeah, clean fight here for TKC will already catch him up by a good 10 seconds or so. Just on lag. We'll see how it goes. Again, no return. Ganondorf not feeling like Roger Federer today.
This is actually the first time, gets the second time though, and you see how much faster VC is over 64 in this section.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. But yeah, like we mentioned before, TKC going balls to the wall, skipping all heart containers possible, leaving himself on 3 hearts. If he takes a single hit of damage from anything, be it a bomb, a rock, whatever, in the wrong place, he will have to die and try the setup again, because you need 3 hearts minimum to do Void Warp, the trick you're about to see, because you will take half a heart from a bomb, a heart from voiding, and another heart from landing from a big fall, leaving you at half a heart at the bottom if you start with 3.
Even then, yeah, half at the bottom, you go avoid all the rocks in the hallway.
That's right. So RoseWater here,
half a heart,
doing a setup, 3 slashes and then shielding to put him in a right position. He'll side hop over to the edge, pull a bomb, and pray that no rocks appear.
Looks good.
Looks
No
good.
shadows.
Nice. So, right there, he's damaged sort of into a loading zone, and the coordinates get confused in the game, and it sets you above the collapse room, and successfully getting the angle and jump slashing down.
And
he's out of there.
Out there, yeah. With 2.5 hours to spare.
TKC will go for the same thing.
Oh,
rock coming his way.
Close one.
He's also out of there.
No shadows, no rocks, looks of it.
Look good.
He's good.
Okay,
he's out.
Great. What we like to see, both players cleanly out, and
hopefully he
now...
gets his slash. Very nice. Angle looks good.
Yeah. This will come down to a bit of lag and a bit of how clean your Ganon fight is, so this will be a great finish.
Yeah.
TKC still in with a shout, but it's looking like RoseWater might have this one close to tied up.
TKC avoiding all the rock damage and just super sliding past, getting the double kiss in the
process.
process.
Getting that double kiss from Zelda.
Making up for the failed Has to Impress by getting the double kiss to impress instead.
Showing off for her as well, look at that. This guy, wow, he knows how to impress the ladies. That super slide saving a couple seconds over just running, so nothing significant. But he had the bombs to do it, so why not go for it?
Exactly. So Rose is currently bomb perfect. If he fails the super slide here, then he could be in a really bad position, because he means he has to use hook shot or Deku Nuts on Ganon's first phase.
And I can testify from recent experience of doing a practice run where I ended up having no bombs at the end. Fighting Ganon with the hook shot, he might have some Deku Nuts to use, but if he's just using the hook shot, you're looking at losing close to a minute just from having to hit him 10 times with that. It's very slow. So he does not want to mess anything up.
I think unless he picked up some nuts from Star Fox and Forest Temple, I think he's at 1 nut right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he used any.
If I gotta put an estimate on this, though, it's looking like a high 119, sort of 119.45-ish for Rose, 120-ish for TKC right now, so we'll see how this goes. Gets the super slide, though.
Very nice.
Oh, he drops the shield.
Oh.
Okay. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, and people of all kinds, just like that, we
have a
race.
If TKC gets this super slide and continues to hold the shield throughout the cutscene, keeps his sword, he will be in a really good spot. Gets the slide, holding R all the way.
And this is where any runner of this category will know you've never held a button so hard, to the point where you think you're maybe holding it too hard and your finger's gonna just kind of drop off the button from sheer tiredness. TKC will be probably unaware of RoseWater's misfortune.
Yeah, so Rose probably gonna have to use hook shot here.
We'll see if he has any Deku Nuts, but yeah, this is really close. I don't think RoseWater was, in fact, too close to the CS. I think, unfortunately, he just dropped his trigger press. The super slide was good. His position was fine. Really unfortunate. You're going to see here, TKC is going to come out of this first phase only needing 3 hits, and he's going to be a good 20 to 30 seconds ahead. Assuming he doesn't die.
Yeah, misses the first hit, unfortunately. He has to reset the position up.
First phase done for TKC, and that is the lead switched right at the end. Yeah. Unbelievable. Scenes on toast right here.
Yeah, so this is TKC's game to lose at this point. If he messes up the second phase, RoseWater could come back and take it, but right now TKC is looking really favoured here. Playing it really safe with this Ganon and not taking any risks with him.
Yeah, understandable.
One thing that can happen is that he's at crit health right now, so he could get a crit wiggle. Which
I will say, that magic is scary. If TKC if TKC hasn't picked up magic before, we get a cutscene for that, and that would be pretty scary.
I didn't think about that at all. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But he gets the last hit in, so...
Finishing it off, it's going to be just above a 120. nice race time. I think both of these runners know they're very capable of sub 120s in races, but lots went wrong, lots happened, and I think a
Yeah.
low 120 is very
So
respectable.
this is looking like RoseWater's game here, but a surprise dropped R press from Rose basically decided this game by the looks of it.
TKC forgetting to done on SRL, finishing behind RoseWater.
I'm not sure I want to rule that. I imagine we'll just say TKC won it because he did win the race.
You know, on SRL, it's cool. RoseWater takes the win, but for the tournament, GG TKC.
GG.
And I will see you in round 4. Please go easy on me, my friend.
Apparently, Rosewater dropped holding now because he was trying to sort out his SRL connection, unfortunately. Yeah, so TKC takes the victory, even though SRL doesn't say he does. TKC takes the victory in this race and advances to round 4 to face the Cruxer. Rosewater dropping down to losers, where he'll be facing. Let's have a look, shall we? 6. He'll be facing the winner of Jelster or the winner of Jelster and Fig. So that's gonna be an interesting match.
Yeah, definitely. Jelster Fig will be a great match. Jelster perhaps a little more in practice for No IM, but Fig well and truly back into his speedrunning. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a nice one.
The next rounds are currently not scheduled. We do have some matches scheduled already.
Yeah, let's check this.
So next match is on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. It's Valiant versus Judo in losers round 4. That's the only match that's currently scheduled. The rest are being scheduled as we speak.
Yeah, the only remaining match from the winners bracket still to do, the only remaining round 3 match is Benuru versus Tsundere. And which again, that'll be a very good match. The winner of that will go on to play CMA in round 4. So lots of good matches coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that means
this tournament's taking real shape now. There's a lot of... This is the point in the tournament where you really hit consistent, sort of fair, close matchups. So it's going to be exciting from here on out.
Yeah, this is the point where like it's full-on big boy matches.
Yeah, definitely.
Even in the losers bracket, we got Tixel versus Glitchymon to come still. We'll go face one of those will face Sean in round 4 losers. With Diamond Flash versus Andy. To go. So there's a lot of big matches to come still.
I need to stop moderating.
Hey Rose.
What's up, Rosewater?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. GG on the race. Sorry for the the mishap right at the end, man. That's really unfortunate.
I got kicked out of the SRL room like 3 times or something, and I had to rejoin. So I was like trying to check that, and then I forgot I had needed to hold R there.
Yeah, we were very surprised because we knew you were bomb perfect, and you got superstar. Okay, you got superstar. He's probably good, and then suddenly like go with R, and we're like, oh,
yeah,
okay, we've got a race in our hands.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that I would have won, but I think that loses like more than 30 seconds, and I lost.
Yeah,
like,
it definitely does. It's
I also missed a jump slash, so I definitely could have won if I.
Yeah, you were ahead by about 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, I think so. You were looking at probably a high 119 without that, and TKC finished with a low 120. So it would have been close, but I think you would have clinched it.
Well, I got like a 37 or something, and that loses more than 30 seconds. I remember like somebody timed it. I think it loses more than 30 at least.
Yeah.
Especially with N64 lag, it might lose like 20 seconds on VC.
How do you feel the race went otherwise, though?
I don't think my stream can hear you guys, but whatever. I think the race went alright. I mean,
If
I
anything
could have
major
done
you
better
want.
at some parts, but
Yeah,
it was whatever.
it looked pretty clean on the whole. None of the major tricks
My
appeared to
early
go
game
wrong.
was
So
pretty bad. Like I got a 14 or an 18-20 child section.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's not bad, honestly.
yeah,
For a race.
for a race,
Bad
yeah.
for N64. Like it's a minute and 20 seconds lost.
Damn. I will say the one thing that I don't even like real major outside of the let go of R, the big like choke point for you in that run was Shadow Temple BK skip, where the extra buffers really kind of cost you a lot of time, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of intentional. Like if I do when I do that trick, it runs. I play it more risky on the buffering, because like the buffering there is the most inconsistent buffering in the game.
Yeah.
So the only way to like 100% guarantee you get the trick is just go super early on the buffering, and then eventually it will work. So like, and I'm super scared of that trick in a race, because if I go in with critical like to less than 2 hearts, because that also affects the buffering. So if I fail that, I die and restart at the beginning of Shadow, and it's like 3 or 4 minutes. So it's basically loss if I do that.
Something I want to ask about is the fact that you got both heart containers in the race, and ask you, do you do that for every race, or is that just something you just decide to do just to be extra safe?
I generally do it most races, like, and most like, just because like it gives you a little bit extra safety. Like you can get hit by Ganondorf once, and you can fail Void Warp. Like you can get hit by a rock and like Void out and Void Warp and still do it. So like, it gives you a bit of leniency on stuff throwing you over late game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's something that we normally see in most like high level runs. Is like you might see someone get the Shadow Heart container, but like people never get Spirit Heart container. So I was just kind of surprised to see you go for it. But I guess in a race setting, you kind of want to just be extra safe, especially with like Forest Temple coming up, with Stealth fights coming up. You gotta be. It's better to like have some breathing room going into that.
Yeah, like in runs, if I have less than a heart and I'm like ahead by 30 seconds or something, I'd probably get it, I would say. But if not, I probably wouldn't. Because if you have less than a heart, then it's just 1 slash from the Stalfos and you die. But like the main reason why I get it in like races is because you're never gonna have more than 2 hearts, and then if you get by a jump slash, then you're dead. So that's kind of like the main reason why we get it in a race.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And like other than that, then you could also like just get HP, but then that also loses time, and then you also have the advantages from getting the heart piece besides that.
So your next race is going to be against the winner of Jelster and Fig, so either way, going to be another good match for you coming up. So definitely,
Fig could be hard, but Injustice not bad either.
Yeah, I think both players very capable.
Yeah, both have really good times. Both really good players.
I mean, I don't know. I wanted to win this race. I feel like you can do better than 120-40 for sure. I don't know. Or
yeah, you definitely can.
No, definitely. I mean, your last race was a 119, so...
I wasn't particularly happy with that race either, but...
Yeah.
I did play some things safer last race at the end, because I knew I was ahead by like 4 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So.
Cool.
Well, thank you for hopping in and joining us. Thank you for racing. Next match will be coming up soon enough, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you all.
All right. See you there, man. Take care.
Thanks man.
Guys. All right. That's probably gonna be it for us for now. Thanks everyone for watching. That was a great race. Thanks, Crosser, for co-commentating.
No, thank you, Greg. It has been a pleasure. The British takeover begins.
British invasion, man.
Yeah.
Thanks to Norinato and Trez for handling the restream. Apologies again for the technical issues. It was out of our hands, unfortunately. But we were able to get back up in pretty decent time, so I feel pretty good about how I went.
And we'll be back. Hopefully we'll be back for the next race. If we can get a restream sorted for that, would be great.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you guys all posted on that. But until then, take it easy, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your days and nights.
Yep. Thanks. See you later.